Hey, it's Brad Buckton, sharpensbest.com, and we're out in Wyoming, and Chance actually goes to estate sales and garage sales and all kinds of sales like that, and he buys things for me. And then, you know, we take them back to Aurora, Colorado, and we test them. But this weekend, we're up here in the mountains. Chance and Amanda come up to the mountains here. So in the back of my Kubota, which I love very much, so we do have what's called a pulaski. Okay, so you got an axe and a digging tool. So on fires, this is really handy because you can chop roots and stuff into, and you can dig them up, you can pry, you can make your fire line and stuff. This is like sort of reasonably sharp. And this one here is, again, that's more like an axe for chopping, so I'll probably do a little work with it also. And then he got me this, a lot of money can go into one of these. I do understand, okay, this is the part that goes in, then it hits here and it goes like that. And so this little foot right here is supposed to pry the wood apart. Same thing on this side, like that. So it goes in, it hits, and then it does this. But I think with real wood and real splitting, you'd have to be like at least 6'6", 325 pounds to really wield this thing, because it weighs, it's like a splitting maul, okay? And I would never use a splitting maul, ever. So we're going to give you an honest opinion of this thing. And I did sharpen it a little bit. We had this down in Aurora, Colorado. And it's actually, okay, it'll take the fingernail off. So it is kind of sharp. So we're going to do a little testing. And this is going to be my splitting block. If you turn them, they kind of get level because they're never cut 90 degrees with a chainsaw. It just doesn't work that way. And people go, well, I can. Hell yeah, maybe one or twice. But you go cut up a 40-foot tree and you see how many of those blocks are 90 degrees. They're not. All right, so let's see. I split this up, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. It's getting kind of dry. So first, we'll take the monster maul.
You don't want to see what a real axe is like first before you...
Yeah, we can, yeah, okay. We can do that.
That way we get like a level opinion.
This is actually not a real axe, this is a pulaski, but this is closer to a real axe than it does going to that. So this is really not designed for splitting wood. This is designed for cutting roots and trees and then digging stuff up to make fire line. And that's part of the reason it's painted red and black, because that is the colors for pulaskis and firefighting equipment. So that one, oh, this is not going to be, now I know why that was laying off to the side. The head's loose. So it'll go that direction maybe at some point. This is kind of dry. It's not hard to split. Okay. Yeah, we got grubs, worms, stuff. All right. For swinging all day long, I'd rather swing this than this. So I'm going to grab a piece of wood that I want to be harder. Okay, here. So it's not quite a fit, but see, there's knots. And then there's where a limb came out, and there's knots. So that is a better way to test to see how it's going to work. Okay, well, I thought it would be harder to split, but you do have to remember the weight. That's 6 or 7 pounds, maybe that's 8 pounds. Okay, and if it's traveling nearly 100 miles an hour from pivot around, by the time it gets to the wood, you know, it's probably doing at least 80 to 100 miles an hour. I watched him balance a tire, and it's just going around. And I said, that's all the faster you're going to spin it when you balance it? And the guy looked at me, and he looked over at the machine. He says, that's 80 miles an hour. I thought, oh, okay, well, whatever. You know, but when it's setting up on a machine for balancing, I didn't think it was 80 miles an hour. Okay, I'm actually kind of impressed. I feel kind of good about it. So the real test would be to cut some blocks, cut some rounds. So a round would be like this. You know, my aunt likes the wood about 13 inches long. It fits in the stove better. So you take a round, you take a tree that's 14, 16 inches at the base, you know, maybe 16, and then you cut them off at 13 inches long, stand them up on here like I just did and split them. So that would be a good test on a real piece of wood instead of something that's dry. But, you know, I mean, that worked really well, I'm going to have to say, but you're hitting it with quite a force, actually. And maybe this is working. I don't know. It'd be fun to see it in slow motion and everything. This is BradSharpensBest.com. Right now, I guess I'm going to say there is a possibility that this is a good thing. So you can, and it's made in USA. Now, I don't know what somebody was doing with it, but look at the back. I think they were pounding on a wedge, splitting like a maul and a wedge. I mean, that is serious cuts into the metal. I don't know what they were pounding on with this thing. Anyway, sharpensbest.com. This is Brad Buckner. Talk to you later.